Well, good morning, oily nesters. I hope that you're having a fabulous day. Great time to start a beautiful week, even though here in Texas we're supposed to be getting a lot of weather. So, all of those classes that we have scheduled for this week, make sure that you stay close attention to our group notifications and things like that. And I'll also post on our webpage for cancellations or rescheduling or anything like that, because if it is tornado warnings or bad hail coming or something like that, I'm not going to drive in that, and I don't want anybody else to get out in that either. There's no reason for us to get our selves in or put ourselves in danger if there's going to be something like that. Okay, now a little rain is not going to hurt us, but we don't want to put anybody in danger for hail or tornadoes or anything like that. So make sure and stay tuned to our webpage at oilynesters.com in the events section, or also in the on our Facebook group. Okay, if in doubt, make sure and message me, and I'll let you know if it's been rescheduled. Okay, all right. So this month we're talking about the respiratory system, and I'm going to give you a little tip here. But I've had a lot of questions this month about when do you decide to use medication and when are you using oils and things like that. So first of all, you have to remember that we're not supposed to treat or diagnose or prescribe. So that's not something I can tell you. That's something that you've got to choose and decide for yourself. And everybody is going to, have a different outlook or a different decision that they want to make about that for themselves. Now, I never tell you that never go to the doctor again, because I do think that doctors have their places, and Western medicine has its place. But I would also tell you that the more that I learn about essential oils and the more I learn about herbs and natural medicine, I think we definitely got it all wrong here in the United States and in the Western medicine. The problem is that we have been taught from the very beginning, from our birth, what we need to do here and here and here, that we don't know where to go and do otherwise. And so the problem is the lack of education on our parts, and that's why the oils or herbs or whatever doesn't work properly for us. It's not because they don't work, it's because we don't know how to use them properly. Now I want to show you a book real quick. This is called The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. And there's a smaller book, if that one intimidates you, called The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Even Simpler. And it's a real thin book, and I would suggest everyone get that to really understand how essential oils work. But I want to read you just a little bit of an excerpt from it, because this part I found absolutely fascinating. And this was actually a question that was on my final exam for the care intensive, or for the raindrop, to become a raindrop instructor. So the question was, how do essential oils work on a cellular level, and why is it that even when many oils are used simultaneously, that they rarely, if ever, have any adverse reactions or interactions or side effects? Because some people ask me, oh, can you layer oils on top of oils? And I say absolutely that you can. So here's the question. That was the question, and here's the answer from the chemistry book. And I'm actually reading it from my screen because I have it written down from my final exam. So here's the answer. Is oil molecules deliver helpful information to cells, and they cleanse the receptor sites so that they bring your body back to natural function. Now remember what the receptor sites were, that like the door of your cell. Okay, so oils are balancing to the body, drugs are unbalancing to the body. Oils address the causes of disease at a cellular level by deleting misinformation and reprogramming correct information so that the cells function properly and are in harmony with one another. So that's just like I've said at an intro class, that part of the oil cleans the receptor site or the door, and then another constituent in the oil goes into the room or the cell and cleans it up, like a mom with a trash bag getting all the junk out. And then another part of the constituent of the oil goes in and sets the cell back up and does it like it needs to. So part of it's deleting the bad information that's making you ill, and then the other part is putting it in and correcting the information that makes the cell function properly. So that's how the oils work. So drugs actually trade one kind of disease condition for another, because essential oils properly applied, and that's the key, is we don't understand how to apply them properly. They always work toward the restoration of proper bodily function, and they don't cause undesirable side effects. So they're feeding the body with truth. Now, drugs feed the body with lies. So while no amount of truth can contradict itself, so one oil on top of another, it doesn't take many lies before contradictions occur and the body suffers ill effects. So you know that once you get on that train of getting on many medications, then, or one medication, then you have to take another medication for some side effects, and more and more and more. And that's the reason why, 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago now, praise the Lord, I was on 24 different medications 2 times a day, because I was started with one, but then that caused something else, and then that caused something else, and that caused something else, and that caused something else. And so that's why I ended up on so many, and why you end up on so many different drugs. Whereas bringing the body back in balance, then you're able to get off of those. And so that makes a difference. But you also have to understand how to use them appropriately and how to apply them effectively. Now, here's the second question. Define the meaning of true healing versus sympathetic relief or symptomatic relief. Where does disease actually begin? Okay, so here again is the answer. The molecules of pharmaceutical drugs are all strange to the human body. And why is that? Because they're created in a lab. In all of the history of humankind, these molecules were never encountered or taken into the human body. The body doesn't easily metabolize them, and you were never made, or your body was never made, to accept or deal with these chemicals and these kind of antibiotics. Non-toxic, natural, organic substances, so things that are organic and they're non-toxic, are easily eliminated by the body when they're useful, or when their usefulness has run out or run its course. So up to a point, your body can even deal with and eliminate natural toxic substances. So if you ingest something accidentally, and your body is healthy, then your body can even eliminate that up to a point. Now, that's not to say that you need to go, get another drug or another plant that's poisonous and take it, because your body may be able to eliminate some of it, but eventually it's not going to be able to. Arsenic is also natural, but I don't suggest anybody go ingest that on a regular basis, okay? All right, so when your body receives a synthetic substance, even one that may seem benign or like plastic or something like that, your body doesn't know how to metabolize it or eliminate it. So the pharmaceutical drugs would lead to symptomatic relief. They would lead to symptomatic relief. So very short time. But on the other hand, natural molecules, such as those found in essential oils, they metabolize in the body very quickly. In fact, your body was created to handle them. When an essential oil molecule finds the receptor site, it was designed to fit and convey its information into that cell. And it participates in other therapeutic functions, and it moves on to the liver, to the kidneys, and the bowels, and then it just leaves the body. So its benefits have just all over your body, and it does a complete job. Now, these natural molecules bring about what? True healing, not symptomatic healing. Now, pharmaceuticals and biochemical things are really nightmares in your body, and they disrupt your bodily function, and they block that kind of healing. They really only bring symptomatic relief, okay? Now, disease actually begins not necessarily just because a pathogen came into your body, but it actually begins in your mind, in your spirit. And this is really because of, we've talked about frequencies. So negative vibrations versus positive vibrations. And when there's an upset there, then you're going to have problems. So when the negative vibrations of your body overcome the positive vibrations throughout your body, then you're going to feel an imbalance in your body, and then that's when you're going to become sick or you're going to have some kind of illness. So that's one of the reasons that we bring in essential oils or herbs or spices or things like that, to bring the positive energy back in and helps that. And a lot of times we have ongoing issues because we have emotional issues that are going on in our life that we just can't hold. We just keep holding on to that. There's a root emotional issue there that's bringing about the imbalance that is going on over and over and over. Now, I know to some of you that that's going to sound like, whoop, she's flipped her lid. That's kind of crazy. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. But let me just give you this little bit of a tidbit of thinking about this, is that think about these little sayings. I'm so scared I peed my pants. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he had the gall to say that. What about I have butterflies in my stomach, or it broke my heart? So all of those sayings actually came from different emotions and based on a body part. So fear and shock are in the heart. So when we have the shock of something negative happening to us, it'll break our heart. When we also, sometimes when we are just kind of incensed about something, that goes to our gallbladder. So that's where we say, I can't believe they had the gall to say that. Or fear comes around in the kidneys or the bladder. So that's where the saying comes, I'm so scared I peed my pants. Or the nervousness comes into the stomach. So where we get the saying of butterflies in my stomach. So understand that those things happen. So sometimes if you have an ongoing issue, there may be an emotional root cause. So you'll use an oil because you look it up in your reference book and you say, I have, this thing, and so it says to use this oil, and it works for a little while, but then it stops working. Well, it may be because it's actually an emotional component to that, and so start looking at the emotional oil that may go with that, and then you may feel get a little bit more results that you're looking for in that situation. Okay, so those are just a few things that I learned recently. I knew it a few years ago or a couple of years ago when I first started on this journey, but it really didn't sink in until recently, till I started studying more, and it was one of the things I wanted to discuss with you, because I know that so many times there's so many companies that come in, multi-level marketing companies, and things from the grocery store and the natural food store and things that bombard us every day, and we don't really understand how all those things work. And so you get bored with listening to me talk about toxins, and you stop looking at things that you're drinking or things that you're using on your face or things that you're breathing in, because you haven't seen that much of a result. But remember that it's not because it doesn't work, it's because you don't know how to use it, and that takes some education. And that's why we have so many classes, why we have the wellness workshops and things like that, because we really want you to understand how they work, so that you can become your own health advocate and so that you can get relief that way. Okay, so the next thing, the final thing I want to just share with you real quick, is another respiratory tip. So you get all stuffy and your eyes are itchy and your nose is running and you're having a lot of issues here. So here's something else that you can do. So get some hot water, boil some hot water, and then get a bowl like this. I didn't want to do this because this is an antique bowl that's from my mom, and I was honestly worried that maybe the hot water might break my bowl, so don't do that. So that's why I didn't want to do that, and I wasn't sure another bowl that I had was dirty. Okay, so get some hot water, boil it, pour the hot water into the bowl, and then put your essential oils in here. So what oils would be good for that? Eucalyptus, RC, Ravensara, Raven, even just lemon oil would be good with that. Make sure that you don't use plastic with citrus oils. So then you're going to have the bowl here sitting on the table, and you're going to take this towel and you're going to put it over your head, and you're going to have this over like this, and then you're just going to breathe in the steam of the oil, and it's going to be coming up like this, okay? So that is one little tip. You can also do that. Now I messed up my hair. You can also do that with your diffuser. So put the oil in your diffuser and then put the towel over your head, and then that will be something that can help you as well. Okay? All right, I know this was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I hope that gave you some good information. Hope that you're listening, hoping that it's educating you and that you're having a wonderful day. God bless. Bye.